Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly. I am so glad you guys are here. I have a special sort of off schedule video. I don't get to do these very often. Natasha Denona is one of the few brands that I can actually get something to you a little bit early. I'd love to be able to say that I get to you the day it launches, and I might have been able to, but my regular job, the job that I actually get paid to do, not this one because I don't get paid to do this, but my real job had me really busy. So this just came in the mail. It came in a couple days ago, so again, I apologize for not being super timely. This is the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. Just recently released. Spring release. This is what the palette looks like. It's her same normal plasticky type that she normally does in the $65 Midi version. Mine came in absolutely perfect. Not a single crack, chip, anything else. Let's see if we can get this off. No, not really any ASMR there. If you guys are not new here, you'll know I don't really care for pastels. So Shell, why did you spend $65 on a pastel palette? Well, a couple different reasons. One, because I stand Natasha Denona palettes, and I have every single one of them. I think, no, I take that back. I don't have the like $228 ones. I don't have any of those. I don't have a couple of the $48 ones because it's like $48 for 5 shades, and then you can get like $25 for 5 shades. So anyway, I haven't bought any of those. If I see them on sale, I do try to pick them up, but I'm just not going to pay full price for this. This, I thought, while this may not be an all-in-one palette for me, kind of like how Circo Loco last year was not an all-in-one palette for me, I think I can get a couple all-in-one looks, and I think that there's a way I would incorporate this. So this video is going to be on how I would use this. If you are not a pastel lover, if you don't imagine doing sherbet colored eyes, Jordan almond eyes, Easter egg colored eyes, and you are a lady of a certain age who's not a makeup artist, who just wants to do the best she can with what she have, stick around because I'm going to use this. I'm going to, let's do 3 looks. We're going to do 3 looks with this palette. I'm going to try to do 2 where I use the colors in here exclusively, and then for my 3rd and final look, I'm gonna show you probably how I'm gonna use it on a regular basis. I also wanted to bring up here, see if I can find it. There's been a couple palettes that people say are very strongly supportive of this. This is one of them. This is the BH Cosmetics Los Angeles palette, and we can see, of course I haven't even used this one yet, we can see that there is a nod to them. They look very similar, but they're not exact dupes. So if you guys want me to come back and try to dupe between the two, maybe you have this one, let's do a look where we incorporate some of the colors from both palettes. That'll give me a second video with this if you guys are at all interested. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let's get in here. I can tell you already, I've got some Charlotte Tilbury cheeks on. I've got a Armani foundation, which smells horrendous, but I bought it, so I'm using it. I do have the Cala lip kit from Natasha Denona recent. I've been loving this. I've been wearing it like every single day. That's what I've got going on so far. Benefit, eyebrows, you know, the usual. Okay, one of the things that I struggle with Natasha, some of Natasha's palettes, is sometimes they don't clearly jump out at me as being like a cohesive unit or a cohesive look. Like if I look down a row, okay, I can see how that might work. I look down this row, I can see how that would work. This one's a little bit more challenging for me because you've got these 3 mattes right here. There are 2 shades that are duplicates. This one and this one I think are from Tropic. That's not a palette I use very often because I don't really care for the mattes in it, truth be told. And I mean, I guess you can look down column 2 and see if you can look for a look. You can do squares. Some of these are just so bold that it's hard for me to think, would I actually wear these on a regular basis? For me, the #1 thing in a palette to make it look like something I can actually use is something like these 2 darkest colors in here. I need to have a dark color to give my shape some definition, some eyes. I do have close set hooded, small eyes, and I really need something to give my eyes a little contour. So I always look for that first. And then I also really like monochromatic looks. I'm just more comfortable in a monochromatic look than I am in a, I don't want to say jarring, but something where the colors are a little bit more complementary instead of being cohesive, I guess. I'm gonna start with this pale pink right here. Everybody's looks that I've seen so far have been like pink and blue. So I don't wanna do a strictly pink and blue look, but I wanna see if I can get used for this. So there are two places, really three places that I put pastels. I put them up here as a transition shade. I might put a little of them on the inner part of my movable lid to give my eye some lightness in the center. And then I might do them down below my lower lash line when I'm trying to create a soft look down there without and still incorporating color from above. I hope that makes sense. I've gone in now with three levels of that pink shade. It is called Feather. It's a good name for it. I'm going to go in with this color right here, which is a little bit more of, I almost want to call it a melon color or a soft raspberry color. It is called Tulle, like Tulle, not Tool. And I'm just kind of going in to deepen up that crease. Now, the only time I would ever wear super light colors like this and leave the house would be, frankly, if I was wearing glasses. I just don't wear really light colors on my lids because I think it just accentuates this out here. I'm going into the darker purple. So far, it's only mattes that I've been using. This one's called Bora, and I'm gonna take it out here on the outside a little bit. I think this might be one of those cream to matte formulas. It is not really picking up with this brush very well. All right, I'm gonna grab a smaller, firmer brush, see if I can't get more of the product picked up, and that did it for me. That got me a little bit more. I would think that this shade would have been super saturated because it looks, I mean, it's like the darkest shade in this palette. I would have thought that it would have transferred to the lid exactly the same way because I know her shades tend to be pretty darn pigmented. Like, we know this. We know that we can get just a little tiny bit on our brush and take some work to sheer it out if we've gone darker than we need to. All right, despite starting with pinks, that has a lot more of a purple look now. I'm gonna go back into Tulle, which is the second shade that I used. See if I can't warm this up a little bit. These certainly go on soft. So if you're a soft eyeshadow lover, or if you didn't live through the 80s the first time around, and you're interested in trying out some pastel trends, this might be a great palette for you. If you stand Natasha Denona eyeshadows, why there, you've got another option. Okay, I'm gonna take this darker shimmer right here. This looks like a little bit of a duochrome. It feels very creamy. It might be a cream color. This is called Dual. And that shade right there in the pan, it looks to be like a darker of the two shimmers. And on the eye, I'm feeling very Bridgerton, very Diamond of the First Water, I guess, first Bridgerton palette from Pat McGrath, because it has a little bit of blue to it. And what did I say a little while ago? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do a pink and blue look. All right, we're doing this pink shimmer right here. This is the lightest shade in here. It is called Dainty, and I'm gonna put it in the inner corner and really kind of, I don't wanna say cover up the blue, but try to get more on top of that. I think that shade feels like either a topper or maybe it needs something underneath it, like to grip it a little bit. All right. That's all I'm gonna do on this. Let's grab a little liner. All right, I've got a little bit of a purple liner here from ColourPop. I'm gonna use that. And I think this kind of purpley color, I wanna think this came out in Halloween. Don't get mad at me for holding my eyelid like that, you guys. I have tried so many different ways of doing my eyeliner, and that is by far the easiest, fastest way. I know I'm gonna regret it eventually. At my age, you think I'd be regretting it now, but I don't know. I don't feel like, you know, I feel like there are worse things that you can do to your eyes and to your skin. There is look number one. It's feeling very bright and pretty, and I only used shadows from this palette. I think, you know, they went on well, just like you would expect. They went on a little sheerer than I kind of really wanted them to be. I expected them to come with a little bit more of a punch. I'm gonna grab, because I learned my lesson last time that purple that looked really dark went on sheer than I thought. I'm gonna grab a smaller, firmer brush and go into the Periwinkle blue in here. This one's called Bubble. It looks very much like the Pantone Color of the Year Very Peri. I know you guys, you've heard me talk about that before. Now, I am not somebody who normally does pastel blue eyeshadow. It's not something that is my favorite thing. Now, I do love blue eyeshadow on brown eyes, but I prefer like a sapphire or a dark blue. This is feeling all kinds of Mimi Carey right here, isn't it? Isn't that her name? What? No. Mimi? Drew Carey show? Tammy Faye? I don't even know. She had eyelashes though, right? Was she known for her blue eyeshadow? I don't really know. I'm gonna grab this other color in here, this light blue. Man, it's even hard to imagine me using it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over the movable lid. Now, when I put these two colors together, boy, they look awfully similar. I mean, they're very, very much the two birds of the same feather. Wait, no, two feathers from the same bird. This is going on very opaque, so if you like light blue eyeshadow, then this definitely gives me that full-on saturation. Oh boy, you guys, I just don't know that that's a color combination I would leave my house in. Okay, we're gonna go into, you know what? I'm gonna grab this copper shade right here in the middle. This one's called Starlit. I wasn't gonna use this, but I wanna see what these look like. See, that just went to that whole pink and blue thing. Even though it's more of an orange, I do love orange and blue together. I actually had that as accent colors in, not this house, but my last house. That I feel like gives it this almost purple look around the edges. This is one of those looks that's gonna be significantly bolder than I was anticipating it to go. I'm gonna grab the lighter shade in here. This is gonna be my inner corner highlight. This one's called Illusion, I think. That right here. How do you not do a pink and blue look with this palette if you're just gonna use all the shades strictly in here? I feel like I need something along that top edge. We're just gonna buff it. I'm just trying to shear out that top. Yeah, I'm gonna use a navy blue liner from Milk Makeup. I was gonna use a black liquid, but I actually think navy blue makes more sense. I'm gonna go up a little higher than I normally would here, and I'm gonna flip this product around, and I'm gonna grab a smudger, and I'm gonna try to smudge in. So do you guys have plans for St. Patrick's Day? Are you guys doing anything this evening? I'm gonna have this go out on St. Patrick's Day, even though I'm filming it on Wednesday. Took a little break. I've been working very hard, so I needed a little break. So St. Patrick's Day, yeah, we're actually doing our Irish stew today instead of tomorrow like I'd originally planned. I'm all about the corned beef and cabbage. I don't know that my husband's ever had it before. I grew up with that for St. Patrick's Day. Okay, I can deal with that. I need to grab, I'm gonna grab this apricot color, and I'm putting that down below because I wanted to incorporate that kind of copper shimmer that I used up above, and I wanted to soften this down below all at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. Let's put some mascara on, I'll be right back. All right, you guys. Pink and blue. There was really no way around it. I thought that copper color was going to be more of an orange. And is it hard to look at when I've got two different eyes? Out of the two, this is going to be more of my everyday daytime. Like I could see leaving the house wearing this. This one's going to be more of, I'm feeling very trendy. I'm feeling like I'm trying to incorporate some of the seasonal changes and seasonal trends in doing this. I gotta be honest, I'm right now struggling to think of a place or a time when I would leave the house wearing this. It's not even really a date night look for me. Maybe it's just a little too blue and pink, and I tried not to do that. I was really trying to go more of an orange. So there's a number of shades I haven't tried in here yet. We've got these kind of like seafoam green colors. We've got this bright, bright lime green. I love that. We have the yellow. Those are the colors I have not used yet. This, I'm gonna call this the Bridgerton shade. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's just blue and pink. I'm gonna grab the Illusion shade again. This has a gorgeous, like gold, pink, white shift to it. They look very similar, but this one's way more pink, almost like a coral color. Whereas this one's more blue and pink, more of that silvery blue versus like a gold pink, I guess. Those are probably the most interesting shades in here. Yeah, this light pink over here called Dainty, that just feels like a topper to me. So I think, you know, if you're someone who wants to do super simple and you wanted to pair a light shade with a matte, you've got a number of these combinations you can do. You could do these two, you could do those two, you obviously could do these two. You've got a number of those combinations to get through if you are someone who really appreciates and loves pastels. So I'm going to take this off. Give me just a minute. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this palette. I'll be right back. Okay, back. I've got a little of the Gerard Clean Canvas Eye Base on. I can't remember what shade this is. I want to think it's maybe light. It's either light or medium or 2. I don't think it's the lightest shade that they have. I've had it now for a little while and I absolutely love it as an opaque eyelid primer. It does have a little tiny bit of grip to it, but it's not bad. I think it's still probably trying to dry down. I would say a little goes a long way. Normally when I use this on my eyelids, I just grab it out of the cap and with a brush, instead of trying to dip into the actual pot itself, just as an FYI, if you're at all interested. Gerard Cosmetics does have some decent sales every so often, so you can go online and register for their website and get notified when they have good deals. And I've seen them do like, you know, 30% off at times, which makes it very economical. I think if you go over to Rhonda's channel, Hot Mess Mama MD, Makeup Diva, not medical doctor, I think she has a coupon code with them as well. You might check that out. I don't. They've never reached out to me. I'm going to use the Biba palette to go along with my Pastel palette. Now, at first glance, you might be like, okay, Shell, why would you take a matte, neutral, fall colored palette and try to pair it with a pastel? To me, that's the draw, is the darker, warmer, richer shades. I guess they're not all warmer. Some of them are cooler. I like my eyeshadow like I like my wine, kind of like thick and chewy. So we're gonna go with that. What I would do normally with this palette is this palette is gonna be my accent palette. This is not gonna be my I do multiple looks. This is not going to be a palette. It's the only one I travel with. This is my highlight palette. I want a little something that I don't have in a palette, my normal everyday go-to palette. So I'm going to start actually with this neutral color right here. That's going to end up going all over my lid, not all over my lid, but up above my crease as my transition shade. And I absolutely adore this palette. I picked up this one versus any of the other ones just because I knew it wasn't, well, it's an all matte palette. And I figured that would give me a good variety and a good solid base. And I believe you can still pick up this palette. If not, apologize. I'm sure I've done a dupe video. If you wanted to look at either Alter Ego or C-Color Cosmetics, probably have a dupe of the Safari palette. Is that what this says? Yeah, this is Safari. I don't know what I said. Did I say Safari? Did I say Biba? I was gonna grab Biba, but Biba is a neutral palette, but it's got some shimmers in it, and I just kind of wanted to stick to the mattes. I've got a little smaller brush. I'm gonna grab this darker shade right here because I'm boring and I like neutrals. It's not why. It's because when I'm doing eyeshadow, I have like a similar formula that I use every single time. Do I think you can get creative with the pastel palette? Yeah, I think you can be creative. I think it's an artistry palette. My problem with that is that doesn't really fit into my normal regular lifestyle, you guys. I'm not someone who has time. If I'm working, if I'm traveling, if I'm normal, regular, everyday, I need a little bit of help getting out the door. Trying to make the pastels work exclusively on me as a lady of a certain age. I love nods at trends, but I'm not gonna fully go in and do a deep dive into trends. Mainly the reason why is because I don't look like I'm trying so hard. That doesn't work for me. Okay, so I've got 2 neutral shades already. This is kind of like the base of, I would say, 90% of my looks start with something very, very similar to this. Neutral, whatever else. I've got the shape that I wanted to give my eyes, and nothing about that is jarring. Now, because I have this sort of hooded eye thing and you don't really see my movable lid, I can get away with doing something a little bit more interesting because you're not gonna see it when I'm looking at you head on. You're only gonna see it when I blink. So I'm gonna go in, I've gotta use these, right? I'm gonna use this darker shimmer right here. That's the kind of like the seafoam green. This one's called Adriatic. And I'm gonna put that from about the center of my lid, and I'm gonna go up and bump into and overlap that brown, darker, richer shade here. That's gonna give that brown just a little bit more of a green tinge to it without covering up the whole thing. The formula of these shimmers, fantastic, very much soft, creamy, easy to apply. It doesn't seem like it's skipping on my eyelid or accentuating any creases. I know some of you guys have questions about that when it comes to textured eyelids. I always tend to go over, I'm gonna go back into that one brown called Shea. I darken this up just a little bit. All right, bringing in the look of the Irish. Now, there's some controversy on this. You guys might not know this. You guys might be just kind of going along with the ride and go, oh, St. Patrick's Day, we have to wear green. But did you know that not everybody wears green on St. Patrick's Day? Some wear orange. Just look it up. Okay, I'm gonna take this lighter one. You probably knew I was gonna do this. This one's called Mini Frost. We're gonna take Mini Frost on the inner portion of this. This is not giving me a ton of transfer, which is super appreciated. Sometimes I have a challenge on getting shades like on my actual eyelid because I do have a little bit of a fat finger situation. and it transfers. But this seems to be sticking right where I'm putting it and not really transferring all that much more. Nice. Man, I appreciate that. Now, I could have probably gone in with a firmer, dense brush, maybe even dampened a little bit and picked up this, but I do really like the way it feels to put these shadows on with your fingers. So now I've got this kind of minty green and this brown neutral, and I think that that is perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine. I'm gonna grab this lighter minty pastel shade. I haven't used that one yet. And we're gonna go underneath the lower lash line. It looks like I need some Visine is what I'm noticing when I look in this mirror here. Man, I used a concealer under my eyelids that is not looking spectacular right now. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit, but that's a pretty color. It's coming across a little different than I thought it would. It's the one that almost looks a little chalk-like, I gotta be honest. But I think it's gonna work as a under eye sort of softener. What else do I want to put anything else on here? I wasn't going to, but since we haven't used it yet, might as well grab the yellow in here. We've used all the other shades, right? We're gonna use the little yellow right here. Oh yeah, that works. Now, there is a trend, and I think this palette does lean really strongly towards that. And that's instead of doing any kind of like fox eye or winged eyeliner, doing a pop of a bright color right in the center, I think this green is going to be gorgeous for that. I think you can do a neutral eye and that green right in your inner corner, and I think it would look really, really pretty. Let me get just a tiny bit of eyeliner and mascara on, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I am back with my third and final look I used a number of shades from this palette, right? I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4 shades from here. You wouldn't know it because I have this largely neutral look, but I love the way this turned out. What a fun take on, I'm gonna make sure this brush is clean. What a fun take on using pastels, incorporating pastels. I love the shape that that's given me. This is definitely checking off several boxes for me. One, it's giving me that kind of green, St. Patrick's Day, spring, fresh, Irish spring. Speaking of Irish spring, my great-grandmother's from Ireland. You guys don't. Anyway, love the way this green looks. It gives me kind of a date night look. I went a little bit probably smokier and heavier than I needed to, but I got a little carried away in all honesty. So I like the spring, I like the St. Patrick's Day, I like that I still have this kind of smoky look, but I think it's completely age appropriate. And again, I don't notice the frosty green eyeshadow as much unless I blink, and then I think it's really kind of fun and unexpected. Yeah, this is a look that I'm gonna wear for the rest of the day, and I'm gonna leave the house in. As opposed to that second look. I didn't really care for that one. Did you guys have a favorite look out of this palette? Were you at all interested in picking up this Natasha Denona pastel palette? It's $65. It's a spendy palette. Do you guys want me to come back and compare it to the LA one from, the Los Angeles one from BH Cosmetics? I'm happy to. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is the take of how I would use this palette in conjunction with a largely matte palette when I wanted something a little bit fun, something a little bit different, something a little bit unexpected. Yeah, okay, it's fun to have it in my collection. It might pair well with Circo Loco too, but Circo Loco is another hard one for me to get one cohesive look. Again, it's a pop of color for me. It's not a palette that I reach into to get 3, 4 or more looks from it. So I don't know if that helps you guys at all, if this gives you guys some information. Again, I'm not a makeup artist. I am not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed. Natasha didn't send, well, she sent it to me, but because I ordered it, because that's the only reason why she even knows I exist. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I hope you guys stick around. I am usually here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is just a bonus video because we had some new releases. Kind of have a little bit of a rotation pattern that I've fallen into. Usually I do something where I'm talking to you guys earlier in the week. For sure, usually a Monday is more me babbling at you. Wednesday, it could be another babble sesh, or it could be, you know, like an unboxing of some kind. Could be a shop my stash, those types of things. Usually Friday is when I start busting out something that might more resemble a date night look. So if you guys are kind of interested on which days to tune in, I would say all of them, because you get different content 3 times a week. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. I look forward to interacting with you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.